Now at 9, it's back to school time. We'll check in at different schools in the area to see how students are getting along.
Freeman Health System gives a $1 million donation for the Roy Blunt Health Science Innovation Center at Missouri Southern. I'm Samantha Walker, and I'll have that story coming up.
And how this weekend's storms impacted the start of school for students in Quapaw, Oklahoma.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. Missouri Southern facility gets a 7-figure gift as students return to classes. Freeman Health System today gave MSSU $1 million to support the future Roy Blunt Health Science Innovation Center. KOAM's Samantha Walker has more on how leaders at MSSU and Freeman hope this donation will help address a local healthcare shortage.
I think it is a vote of confidence for Missouri Southern and the recognition that what Missouri Southern is providing for our students, but also for the greater community, is tremendous.
A $1 million donation from Freeman Health System is going to MSSU's future Roy Blunt Health Science Innovation Center. The center will provide students immersive learning opportunities for those going into the healthcare field.
This is a very natural partnership for Freeman Health System. We depend so heavily upon Missouri Southern for training healthcare professionals. So these new programs are going to benefit the entire region, but not just today or next month or next year or 5 years from now, but for generations to come.
In recognition of the support, the university is naming 2 learning spaces in the facility, the Freeman Skills Lab and the Freeman Simulation Classroom.
But the heart of it is providing tremendous immersive learning opportunities for our students. Will really transform our teaching and learning and prepare our students so well for the next step in their careers.
Officials with both Freeman and Missouri Southern say this donation will help them continue to address the shortages within the healthcare industry.
When we know that there is a shortage of healthcare providers in different areas and we are offering those educational programs, then we need to look at how can we expand those, how can we take more students, if there's additional credentials that our workforce community needs. Then what? So I do anticipate a way to increase our enrollment in our graduates for these healthcare professionals that are out in the community. That is a critical part of why we're doing all of this with the new building.
And according to Lemons, students are already expressing their excitement for the future facility.
I have been in the classroom working with lots of students and I have heard so many comments. They are so excited. The fact that we're going to have a building that has a simulation hospital in it with our anatomy and physiology labs, with our expanded cadaver labs. I've heard firsthand, maybe I should postpone graduation. And I said, I don't know that I would go that far, but keep your ears open for additional opportunities that I think we can plan with this facility.
Reporting in Joplin, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Missouri Southern hopes to have the Roy Blunt Health Science Innovation Center completed in fall of 2026. Well, students also started their first day at MSSU and NEO. We sent photojournalist Ty Parks to both campuses to see how students were settling in.
Hey, very exciting day. First day for the fall semester. Our faculty and staff have been preparing for our students to get back on campus this fall. More than 620 students living on campus, and the classes are pretty packed this fall. We're very excited to get this semester underway.
Starting class again, it's a good feeling. We all getting back to it, getting back in a routine. It's been good so far. The school, they're providing a lot of things for everybody. Fun events, all that, trying to get everybody back in the spirit, getting back to classes and stuff like that.
It's like having a great staff, like a home away from home, trying to get my degree, stuff like that, to better off in life when I move on.
It's different for sure. I'm from a small school, so about one building's about the size of our high school. So
first day of classes, it was actually really fun. Well, my first 2 classes were UE experience, basically learning how the university is and how everything is like. And then I also had English composition. The teacher was really fun, made the first day a lot of fun, just basically telling who each other are.
So I'm from Nepal. So from there, the high school there is a little different. So when I came to the university, and it's like a huge university, I had like a small high school. So there are so many activities going on, and then I have to now I have to be serious and study well. So yeah, there was like this transition phase happening, and I'm still processing lots of things. MSSU has great extra activities going on. We have Color Wars, Campus Grays, and so many other activities that we can join and make new friends and learn more about the people who are interested in the path that we are interested in. So that other activities and clubs has made the transition phase a lot more easier for us.
Oh, it's completely different. I'm on my own now. I don't have a lot of people to rely on like my parents, but I can find a good group of people and adjust to it, and I think it's going to be a great time here.
Well, Pitt State students today also returned to the classroom. PSU is hosting a variety of back-to-school events for students returning to campus for the fall semester throughout the week, including first day photos and community and involvement fairs.
Definitely just establishing new friendships that will help to build me and build the people around me. You just meet great people in college, and it's a great time to just grow as a person.
The start of the school year is also an opportunity for students to check out all the student organizations around campus. Well, they weren't the only students in Pittsburgh heading back to school. The Pittsburgh Community School District started classes today for most students. Now, this is video of students at George Nettles Elementary after their first day back. Some students, including freshmen, began last week. And back to school did not start smoothly for some parts of the 4 states, though. Quapaw, Oklahoma Public Schools had to issue a revised schedule of events in the wake of storm damage to their community over the weekend. Many of the changes impacted the high school softball team. The class of 2025 car wash has been canceled, and many other events will be rescheduled. Families needing an update to rescheduled events can go to KOAMnewsnow.com, where we've provided a handy link. The state of Oklahoma is releasing money to improve security at schools. It comes after reports of the state's Department of Education refusing to let districts keep unused money from the School Security Revolving Fund. And that fund was created in the wake of the deadly school shooting in Uvalde, Texas in 2022, and authorized $50 million for schools over a 3-year period. And now the state's Attorney General delivered an official opinion that districts should be able to carry over those funds from one year to the next. Coming up, as students head back to school, we'll have some tips to keep them safe from germs and viruses. Pitt State is offering students free access to online mental health services. For the first time, the university is partnering with TELUS Health, a company developed for college student mental health. All students have to do is log in using their Pitt State credentials, and they're able to access master's level counselors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That can be through a text chat, over the phone, or through video. There's also still the option for an in-person session through the Student Health Center. As children across the 4 states head back to school, they're not alone. A lot of germs will be joining them in the classroom. So how can you keep your family healthy? Here's a dose of prevention from the experts.
Where are you going? Are you going to do the monkey bars? Come on. Go to the next one.
Chelsea Walker is enjoying the final days of summer vacation with her 2 boys, Corbin and Elijah. But with the new school year comes the same old fear.
I mean, it's inevitable. Corbin has a great immune system. Elijah does not. So I worry about Elijah getting sick a lot this year with Corbin going back to school.
It never fails. When kids go back to school, they tend to bring home a lot more than homework. Germs, bacteria, and viruses that can lead to pink eye, flu bugs, and a constant stream of colds.
Elijah's been sick a lot. We were last Christmas, we ended up in the hospital, and then it was almost like clockwork. Every month after that, we would end up in the hospital. He caught every single virus. And a lot of the time, parents don't realize that whenever your kids come home, they might not show symptoms, but then they just bring it home too.
Prevention is key, and with 80% of infectious diseases spread by touch, hand washing is important. Mercy pediatrician Dr. Omar Mohammed says there are other things you can do too to keep your family's health in check. For example, setting a strict nighttime routine.
Following a schedule to making sure we're getting 8 hours of undisturbed sleep will not only help us feel better in the morning, but also limit our fogginess when it comes to learning new things and whatnot.
Trouble falling asleep or staying asleep? Try putting your screens down at least 1 hour before bedtime. That gives your brain a chance to wind down and signals your body that it's time to sleep.
But what we don't realize is if we do not follow that sleep pattern that our brain is used to, our natural melatonin production goes down, and that may keep us awake.
And when it's time to wake up, don't forget breakfast.
The carbohydrates that we take, our brain uses that as fuel. Our brain is the only organ in the body that relies heavily on carbohydrates to process information or be awake and help us learn new things.
Dr. Mohammed says after a day of learning, healthy snacks high in protein, carbohydrates, and natural sources are best.
Fruit snacks is huge, and then watermelon and cantaloupe. We try to do fruits and stuff like that, and of course if he really wants, he likes popcorn too, and just little stuff until not something so much on his stomach that it's going to ruin his dinner.
Walker's family is swinging into another school year, aiming high.
Another underdog? You're already going really high.
And preparing to face whatever challenges lie ahead. Well, Dr. Mohammed also recommends staying hydrated and getting a daily dose of vitamin C. Well, tomorrow we look into common back-to-school sports injuries and tips to prevent them. We meet a 6th grader who's ready to get back on the field after a broken bone sidelined him last fall. Well, Doug is next with a complete look at your forecast. And later, it's the start of high school football practice in Kansas. We'll see how Pittsburgh is preparing for the upcoming season.
Well, we had some scattered showers and thunderstorms across the region during the morning hours, and then the afternoon we kind of heated up partly to mostly sunny skies. Temperatures, they went during the afternoon into the upper, let's say mid to upper 80s, which is pretty good for this time of the year because it can definitely be a lot hotter outside. Looks great. Nice shot of our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex tower cam. Of course, we were looking downtown Joplin. All right, lower 90s yesterday, so a little hot, but still right about where we should be for this time of the year. And then today, cooler. We had the clouds kind of hanging out, so we went into the mid 80s during the afternoon. Let's go ahead, zoom in. Very comfortable, 74 in Monette, 75 in Anderson. We have 79 in Chanute. Miami is sitting at 77 degrees. Chatopa, also 77. Here's 7th. Here's Rangeline, sitting at 75. Northerly winds are light at about 5 miles per hour. Through the night, very comfortable. Look at this, 63 for an overnight low. We rebound back to 74 by 10 a.m. So let's look at our temperatures over the next couple days because they're going to stay below average. So we'll definitely take that. Lower 60s to start. Here comes some clouds rolling in as we go through late morning into the early afternoon. You can see some spotty sprinkles, maybe a quick shower, not a big deal. These roll right on through, and then temperatures behind it, I think most of us 84, 85 degrees. Tomorrow night, very comfortable again. You can open up the windows briefly, back down into lower 60s. Let's move into Wednesday. Wednesday afternoon, mid 80s, partly sunny skies, looks fantastic. So temperatures over the next 2 days staying below average. 64 to start, 79 by noon, high temp right around 85 degrees. Let's go outside. There's not a whole bunch going on. We have pretty much clear skies. We do have some showers and thunderstorms eastern parts of Colorado. This is the wave that will give us some clouds and a random shower as we go through the daytime hours tomorrow. Big dome of high pressure still in charge, kind of pushed back toward the south and to the west. So what that does is allow these kind of weak waves to rotate around the high, and that's why we've had some hit and miss showers. Watch what happens as we get closer toward the weekend. It slowly starts to build in. Still, we're going to get some random showers, but what this will do is it slowly builds in, is allow those 90s, a little bit of heat, a little bit of humidity to return. So let's look at the second half of the work week. Temperatures, upper 80s by Thursday, should go into lower 90s on Friday. And then as we head into the weekend, we're going to have a chance to get a few scattered showers and thunderstorms in here as this little wave passes by, and then again on Sunday. But the main key here is you can see temperatures start to heat back up as we head toward the weekend. 85 tomorrow, 87 on Wednesday, 87 on Thursday, high temp at 93 on Friday, and then mid 90s with a hit or miss chance for a storm most of next week.
Thanks, Doug. Well, the Lamar Free Fair is underway in Barton County, Missouri. The 2-week-long event hosts several activities for participants, ranging from blue ribbon contest, art shows, queen contests, parades, and food vendors of all kinds. It'll all be capped off with a performance by country music artist Clay Walker on Saturday.
So important to the community because it's an event that has been going on for 81 years. So it's a very traditional event. People come back. There are class reunions that revolve around the event.
Doors open for the Clay Walker concert at 7 p.m. on Saturday. Well, coming up, if you're planning to travel abroad anytime soon, we'll have tips to help you avoid getting caught off guard by surprise fees. Taking an international trip can be costly and takes a lot of planning, but don't just focus on items like airfare and hotels. There are many additional costs you need to budget for that can sneak up on you. Patrick Cornell talks to an expert on the best ways to plan for things like foreign transaction fees, international cell phone plans, and travel insurance.
Planning an international trip in the near future? It's not just the big ticket items that you need to plan for.
There are a lot of sneaky expenses that will make your upcoming trip more expensive.
Sarah Rathner, a travel and credit cards expert with NerdWallet, says one of the big ones is foreign transaction fees.
If you pay for items with a credit card, those are typically around 3% of any purchase you charge. So that's going to add up fast. Use a credit card when you travel that charges a 0% foreign transaction fee.
When it comes to cash, order foreign currency from your bank or get it at the ATM at your destination. Never get it at the airport where exchange rates are the worst. And if you're swiping your card, always choose to pay in the local currency so it's your bank handling the exchange rate. Another sneaky cost, international data and roaming charges.
Don't just use your phone without thinking about it. That's how you get slapped with a really expensive surprise bill after you get home.
Rathner says you must check what your current cell phone provider offers in terms of international plans and figure out the best way to make calls and check your map apps before you leave. Another great money-saving tip, make those credit cards work for you. When choosing a card, find one that offers multiple benefits like no foreign transaction fees, rental car coverage, insurance for trip cancellation or interruption, and luggage protection.
Credit cards are more than just a way to pay for things. The features and benefits that they offer make them, in some ways, a partner in your travel.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Patrick Cornell.
New survey data shows Americans are starting to feel increasingly worried about losing their jobs. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York's latest survey on consumer labor market experiences and expectations showed job, wage, and benefit satisfaction all sank in July. It also found the average expected likelihood of becoming unemployed rose to 4.4%. That's the highest on record for the survey, which was started 10 years ago. Up next, we'll show you how you can test your knowledge of the KOAM team with a back-to-school twist. Does this face look familiar to you? In honor of back-to-school season here in the 4 states, some of your favorite members of the KOAM team are taking a trip back in time and sharing photos from their school days. We have a quiz on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com, where you can guess who is who. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports is coming your way. Joplin police investigate 2 shootings they say are connected. Plus, the city of Miami decides the future of a nonprofit that helps hundreds of local senior citizens.
You're watching the 4 states' most watched news.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. Joplin police believe 2 early Sunday morning shootings are related. The first shooting happened around 2 a.m. Sunday morning. Police responded to a home with a large gathering of people at 830 South Grand Avenue. And there, first responders found a man with a gunshot wound and rushed him to the hospital. Then about 30 minutes later, officers responded to 811 South Massachusetts Avenue, where they found another man with gunshot injuries. He was also taken to the hospital. JPD says the second victim was shot at the first location and then drove off before contacting police. Authorities are investigating but have not yet made any arrest. The Miami Senior Center is retaining control of itself, for now at least. The Miami City Council tonight discussed if the Senior Center should be turned over to the city or the Peoria tribe. The center is a nonprofit that provides exercise programs, dance, and other social activities to seniors. But due to a lack of funds, it cannot continue its programs. However, the city decided that for now it will continue on its own, but could go to the city if they can't continue to operate.
It's important for us as a community. It's important for us as a city. I know the tribes are involved and they just want the Senior Citizen Center to be successful. No matter how it happens, I think if we pull together as a team, we can all still make it happen.
The center is the current home of the Docks organization, which delivers food to over 100 seniors per day. If the center gets taken over, that program would have to find a new location. Well, the Democratic National Convention kicked off today. President Biden delivered the keynote speech tonight, but the rest of the week will be focused on the future with Vice President Kamala Harris at the top of the ticket. A new CBS News YouGov poll shows Vice President Harris goes into this convention with a 3-point lead nationally over former President Donald Trump. But she is effectively tied in the battleground states that are likely to decide the race. And former President Trump is not ceding the spotlight to Democrats this week. He was back in Pennsylvania this afternoon for a campaign event focusing on what he calls Vice President Harris's anti-American energy policies. Fox Business correspondent Grady Trimble has more from York, Pennsylvania.
Former President Trump and his running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, are on the road, providing counter-programming to this week's DNC. 2 weeks after Vice President Harris and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz barnstormed battleground states, the Republican candidates are doing the same, hitting the Rust Belt and East Coast before a swing out west. After a rally in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania this weekend, Trump is back in the make-or-break Keystone State at a manufacturing facility.
Our plan will massively cut taxes, unlock American energy, slash regulations, and bring back those beautiful words, made in the USA.
The former president largely focused on economic policy in his roughly 50-minute speech, discussing plans to reintroduce tariffs to boost domestic manufacturing and increase U.S. energy production, a critical industry in Pennsylvania. Trump did at times deviate from his prepared remarks, attacking Harris and Walz.
Between his movement and her laugh, there's a lot of craziness. I'd say a step further than weird. Weird is a nice word by comparison.
Pennsylvania saw a 1-2 punch from the GOP candidates, with Vance visiting Philadelphia today. Both men criticizing Harris's newly unveiled plan to go after companies for price gouging and offer government assistance for new homeowners.
We don't need lectures on the economy from a candidate pushing communist price controls. Kamala has no idea what the hell she's doing.
In an interview after the event, Trump told David Shepardson with Reuters that if he's elected, he would tap Tesla CEO Elon Musk for a cabinet position or advisory role if Musk would do it. In York, Pennsylvania, Grady Trimble, Fox Business.
Well, a bit later, how a group of veterans in Florida are helping to tackle the state's invasive python problem.
Well, we had some scattered showers and thunderstorms across the region during the morning hours, and then the afternoon we kind of heated up partly to mostly sunny skies. Temperatures, they went during the afternoon into the upper, let's say mid to upper 80s, which is pretty good for this time of the year because it can definitely be a lot hotter outside. Looks great. Nice shot of our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex tower cam. Of course, we were looking downtown Joplin. All right, lower 90s yesterday, so a little hot, but still right about where we should be for this time of the year. And then today, cooler. We had the clouds kind of hanging out, so we went into the mid 80s during the afternoon. Let's go ahead, zoom in. Very comfortable, 74 in Monette, 75 in Anderson. We have 79 in Chanute. Miami is sitting at 77 degrees. Chatopa, also 77. Here's 7th. Here's Rangeline, sitting at 75. Northerly winds are light at about 5 miles per hour. Through the night, very comfortable. Look at this, 63 for an overnight low. We rebound back to 74 by 10 a.m. So let's look at our temperatures over the next couple days because they're going to stay below average. So we'll definitely take that. Lower 60s to start. Here comes some clouds. rolling in as we go through late morning into the early afternoon. You can see some spotty sprinkles, maybe a quick shower, not a big deal. These roll right on through, and then temperatures behind it, I think most of us 84, 85 degrees. Tomorrow night, very comfortable again. You can open up the windows briefly, back down into lower 60s. Let's move into Wednesday. Wednesday afternoon, mid 80s, partly sunny skies, looks fantastic. So temperatures over the next 2 days staying below average. 64 to start, 79 by noon, high temp right around 85 degrees. Let's go outside. There's not a whole bunch going on. We have pretty much clear skies. We do have some showers and thunderstorms eastern parts of Colorado. This is the wave that will give us some clouds and a random shower as we go through the daytime hours tomorrow. Big dome of high pressure still in charge, kind of pushed back toward the south and to the west. So what that does is allow these kind of weak waves to rotate around the high, and that's why we've had some hit and miss showers. Watch what happens as we get closer toward the weekend. It slowly starts to build in. Still, we're going to get some random showers, but what this will do is it slowly builds in, is allow those 90s, a little bit of heat, a little bit of humidity to return. So let's look at the second half of the work week. Temperatures upper 80s by Thursday, should go into lower 90s on Friday. And then as we head into the weekend, we're going to have a chance to get a few scattered showers and thunderstorms in here as this little wave passes by, and then again on Sunday. But the main key here is you can see temperatures start to heat back up as we head toward the weekend. 85 tomorrow, 87 on Wednesday, 87 on Thursday, high temp at 93 on Friday, and then mid 90s with a hit or miss chance for a storm most of next week.
Coming up in sports, a Missouri Southern golfer earns All-American honors. Plus, Pittsburgh High School football holds its first practice of the 2024 season. John Dales has those stories and more up next.
Oklahoma and Missouri high school football teams are just 11 days away from their 2024 season openers. Across the border in Kansas, things get started a week later, so today is the first day of practice for all our local schools in SEK. The Pittsburgh Purple Dragons are on the practice field for the first time in the fall 2024 season after a 5-4 campaign that ended with a first-round playoff loss in 2023. PHS returns a strong senior class that's hungry to change things. The Purple Dragons are driven by one particular phrase: discipline, accountability, and toughness.
They are extremely hungry. These guys have worked extremely hard over this summer. The leadership has risen to the top. We've had kids step up out of their comfort zone and become leaders that we necessarily didn't think that were going to be leaders for us, and they've done an unbelievable job with that. But they're hungry and they're focused and they're ready to get this scrimmage done this weekend, get to the Jamboree, and then week one we got Emporia.
We got some young guys, but they're wanting to learn. They want to get better. We got some short guys, we got some tall guys, but at the end of the day, they're ready to go.
Week 2 of the NFL preseason wrapped up last night. A couple of Pittsburgh State 2024 alumni are fighting for roster spots. Defensive back Rico Payton had 3 tackles and a pass breakup for the Saints against the 49ers. And former PSU All-American tight end Devin Garrison signs with the Seattle Seahawks. He was a free agent after going undrafted, then attended rookie minicamp with both the Green Bay Packers and Minnesota Vikings in the spring. Garrison is one of 2 tight ends to sign with Seattle today. The other is Michael Ezike, a 2022 grad of UCLA. This comes after 3 of the Seahawks tight ends have suffered injuries. The 2024 MIAA men's golf season less than a month away. This morning, the defending conference tournament champion Missouri Southern Lions have one of their 2024 seniors receive All-American honors. Trajan McRae is named to the All-American team, released by the Black College Golf Coaches Association this morning. This is the 2nd consecutive season McRae received All-American honors from the BCGCA. McRae is one of 5 golfers in the country to be named to the All-American team. He graduated from Missouri Southern in the spring after a collegiate career that also included being named the 2023 MIAA Golfer of the Year and 2 all-conference selections. Switching gears to Division I college football, the AP releases its 2024 preseason All-Americans today as well. Mizzou wide receiver Luther Burden is a first-team All-American. The Tiger Jr. is coming off a 2023 campaign where he hauled in 83 catches for just under 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns. Burden is the only Missouri Tiger to receive preseason AP All-American honors. That's it for sports. We're back after this.
Former service members are lending their training to hunt down invasive pythons infiltrating the Florida Everglades. The experience not only helps to combat the snake population, but also serves as a form of therapy and community building for veterans. Fox News' Sue Guzman takes a closer look at all the action.
Burmese pythons have been causing chaos throughout the Florida Everglades for years. While they aren't venomous, the invasive species can grow to an average length of 16 feet. The U.S. Geological Survey says the snakes have led to massive declines in small mammal populations in the area as they continue turning the natural ecosystem on its head.
Every python removed from the environment is a win for native species.
While the Sunshine State has been holding competitions to hunt the snakes, as well as paying contractors to round up the reptiles.
Most of the contractors have been hired don't jungle bust. They sit in their car with the AC going and they ride these roads, which is fine. You know, that's a way of doing it. They catch pythons doing it that way.
A nonprofit group of veterans called Swamp Apes is venturing out into more remote areas of the Everglades. The activity meant to help veterans adapt to post-service life and establish community while also combating the invasive snakes.
We go deep in the swamp. We have kind of that dual purpose. We want to catch the pythons and we want to have those veterans endorphins flowing to get those brains cycling back the right way. And you don't do that sitting in a car.
Swamp Apes members scoping out brush for the creatures involves skills similar to life on military patrols.
You're looking at your 5 yards for any snakes and 25s, and you're just keeping your head on a swivel looking for these pythons.
Through 2023, Florida officials report more than 18,000 pythons have been removed from the wild.
Nice, look at the mouth, huh?
Sue Guzman, Fox News.
Well, coming up, how authorities in Spain foiled a plot to smuggle a fake Leonardo da Vinci painting into Italy. A high-profile would-be fine art fraud was foiled after authorities stopped a man traveling in Europe seeking millions for a forged painting, masquerading as a work of one of the medium's great masters. Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
Investigators in Spain say they busted a suspect trying to smuggle a fake Leonardo da Vinci painting and with paperwork claiming the forgery was worth millions. The man was stopped with the fraudulent work on his way from Spain to Milan, Italy, where officials believe he was trying to sell the painting using not a verification of authenticity, but instead an expired export license, claiming the work was valued at roughly $1.4 million. The painting was examined at Madrid Art Museum, was ultimately ruled a fraudulent reproduction, and the alleged would-be art dealer was arrested. And from a fugazi, that's a fake, to the real deal caught on camera. Officials at the Phoenix Zoo say they were left in disbelief when footage from a mountain trail camera revealed the area's first sighting of an honest-to-goodness ocelot in half a century. Ocelots are a wild big cat about twice the size of a typical house cat and are an endangered species in the U.S. That would explain why this trail cam capture of the ocelot's cameo was not only a welcomed sight, but one that, according to a zoo official, sent chills through their body. Finally, another rare sight, but one that never fails to please, was the annual running of the T-Rexes at Washington's Emerald Downs Racecourse. In front of a crowd of about 6,000, multiple events for men, women, senior, and kid competitors saw calamitous clusters of costume carnivores competing for glory in a dynamite display of prehistoric hysterics, at least one of which ended in an exciting photo finish. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
I like the little kid. He was cute. And that's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of snow leopards at the Metro Richmond Zoo in Virginia. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.